This is the voltage of the battery with the car off. My battery is weak, and this voltage will drop below 12 volts. Yesterday actually was way down at 10 volts, and it basically shut off the system at that point. If I plug it in, this voltage will jump up to around, I think it's 13 or 14 volts. If I turn on the car, which I'll do now, you'll see that it will jump up even more. So when it starts flashing when it goes over 15 volts. So right now the car is charging it through the high voltage battery to like over 15 volts. And that drops down a little bit as you drive, but it stays close to like between 14 and 15 normally. So I'll stop the car and we'll see just how fast it drops. So it drops rapidly down below 13 volts, and then after, I don't know how long, maybe an hour, a couple hours or something, it'll drop below 12 volts. But overnight, if it's not plugged in, it's going to drop down less than 10 volts because this battery is quite weak. I have a new battery and I'm going to install it today. I got the door open now, so it dropped down below 12 volts because the light, overhead dome light, is on. So I plugged the car into the the 120 volt charge cord, and you can see that the voltage has come up. So it's charging up the battery with the car plugged in. So the first thing to do is open up the back. We'll just lift this up and take out all the stuff that's inside. And then there's some screws here to be removed, to remove that plastic piece. There's this oil filter funnel that they put inside here. Take that out. That just lifts up. Okay, that comes out. Then you can see the battery in the bottom, but we got to take out all this plastic stuff here, so I'll remove those screws, and there's some more screws up here to be removed as well. You see there's 4 screws along the top. Okay, I removed the four screws. There was a nut under here, but for some reason I had this apart before and it doesn't look like it's fitting, so the screw wasn't on there, but you'll have to take off that nut if it's on yours. Okay, so just lift that out. And now we'll take off the 4 screws on the top here, under this. So the 4 screws are removed from the top of this, and I use this screwdriver with a I believe it's a T25 Torx bit on it. So now we can just pull this out. Okay, so now we have to take this ductwork off. So I'll take out these screws. I gotta pop these pop-it things, and then there's another one down here. It's plugged in now, so the fan is running. This is fan here, I believe. Sounds like it. So I'm going to unplug the charger so there's no power inside here. So now I'm going to try to pop these pop-its off in order to get the ductwork off. I'm using this prying tool here. One sec. Where did you just? Oops. Okay. I guess that's not the best way, but. There is a little slot in here. Maybe use a screwdriver for that. This one is So once I was able to lift up the head on this, I was able to pull out the poppet with that prying screwdriver device. Okay, so now we have to take out this ductwork. Hopefully I can do it with one hand here. Okay. Something else holding. Oh, there's another poppet down here. Okay, I've got to take that off and then I'll pull it out. The bottom poppet is a little bit harder to get out because of the small space, but once you lift up the head and pull it out, then this ductwork comes out fairly easily. The next part involves taking out these two screws to remove this little piece of ducting, and it looks like there was a poppet in here previously, but it's this is the same poppet that held down the other duct, so it's not in there anymore. So I'm going to use a 10mm to undo this bolt here to be able to take off the positive lug. Okay, so that should... So I loosened this 10mm nut and the one on the negative, and I've got those off. I need to get this whole assembly out of the way, and there's this sensor on here that is preventing it from like lifting out of the way. So I'm going to undo this bolt here and get that sensor off. I don't know if there's another way to take that sensor out, so that looks like the easy way. So with that sensor that I took off, I was able to move this out of the way. Now I've got to undo this nut or bolt to release the battery and be able to pull it out. Okay, the clamp that holds the battery in, I managed to get that undone. It looks like it goes through a hole that goes right through the floor, so it was a bit rusted underneath. It's got this, I don't know, kind of retaining clip. Doesn't even look like a nut, but anyway, it took a little bit of effort to get it out. It was pretty tight all the way until it came loose. Okay, so now we can hopefully get this battery out. I've seen it done in another video. I just tipped it up. Okay, I have to use two hands. Okay, I got the battery out. It would have been easier if I pulled this plug out, but it seems like this plug just goes part way. It's probably a secondary latch somewhere. Not sure how that comes undone, so I left that in. But basically, I pulled this white part down, pushed the orange thing, and pulled it, and then it gets stuck on the next level. I don't want to force it off because it might damage it. Okay, so you can see the vent tube here in the back. There's a little hole in the side of the battery that plugs into. You can see the hole here. That's where that vent plugs into. Okay, I managed to get the new battery in. Despite this orange wire being kind of in the way, I wasn't able to figure out how to get that off. So anyway, I managed to get it in. So I put the vent tube on the back. It wasn't too difficult to slide that in, and then put the negative terminal on, tightened it with a 10mm nut wrench, and then I reattached this sensor here with a 13mm socket, and then I put this whole assembly on and tightened up this 10mm nut. And previous to that, I had attach the mounting clamp at the bottom there. That's an 8mm, and so everything's in there solid. I'm ready to put on the rest of the paraphernalia here. So this ductwork here goes on the bottom here. Okay, and then the other ductwork up the top. So let me get those screwed in. Okay, I managed to get the new battery in. Despite this orange wire being kind of in the way, I wasn't able to figure out how to get that off. So anyway, I managed to get it in. So I put the vent tube on the back. It wasn't too difficult to slide that in, and then put the negative terminal on, tightened it with a 10mm nut wrench, and then I reattached this sensor here with a 13mm socket, and then I put this whole assembly on and tightened up this 10mm nut. And previous to that, I had attached the mounting clamp at the bottom there. That's an 8mm, and so everything's in there solid. I'm ready to put on the rest of the paraphernalia here. So this ductwork here goes on the bottom here. Okay, and then the other ductwork up the top. So let me get those screwed in. Okay, I got the lower ductwork in with these two 8mm screws. Use this 8mm socket to put those screws in. And now the next piece of ductwork. Something like this. And these are using the poppet things. It's not that difficult to get these ones in. That's all snug in there. So I've got a poppet to go in the bottom, two in the top, and a screw that goes in here. So my battery voltage when I first got this new battery plugged in and connected was showing like 11.9 volts. So I plugged the car in, and that's going to bring up the battery voltage. Right now it's reading 14.1, so it won't take long to top that battery up to the max.